My name is George Raymond Holt. I am 79 years old. I was washing a dish. Just one dish. Daniel had come by the night before. He stayed maybe 40 minutes. We watched part of a game. He said he had an early morning and he left. I was washing his cup, the one he used for coffee, and I looked up through the kitchen window, and I don't know why, but I started to cry. Not because he left, because of the way he left, the way he put on his coat, the way he said, "All right then," the way he didn't turn around at the door. I know that way. I invented that way. My father's name was Thomas Raymond Holt. He was a quiet man, not peaceful quiet, not the kind of quiet that makes a room feel safe. The other kind, the kind that makes you choose your words before you speak. The kind that makes a child feel like a guest in his own home. I was 12 years old the last time my father hugged me. I remember it because I remember thinking, this is the last time. Children know these things. We don't say them, but we know. He died in 1987, November, a Tuesday. I was 40 years old. 40 years old, and I stood next to his bed in that hospital room, and I waited for something. I don't know what I was waiting for. Some word, some look, something that said, "I see you, George. I always saw you." It never came. He closed his eyes, and it never came. I drove home in silence. Margaret asked me how I was. I said, fine. I sat in the kitchen until 2 in the morning, alone, the way he taught me to be. I became a teacher, 38 years. English literature, 11th and 12th grade. You want to know something strange? I was good at it. I could stand in front of 30 teenagers and talk about grief in a poem. I could explain what Hemingway meant by what he didn't write. I could help a 17-year-old boy understand his own sadness through a story written 100 years ago. Words were never the problem. Words I had. But I would come home at 5 o'clock and Daniel would be at the kitchen table doing homework, and I would say, "How was school?" And he would say, "Fine." And I would say, "Good." And that would be it. I spent all day finding words for other people's children. And I came home and gave my own son nothing. I told myself I was tired. I told myself he was fine. I told myself there would be time. There is always going to be time, right until there isn't. Margaret used to say, "George, go sit with him. Just sit. You don't have to say anything. Just be in the room." I would nod. I would say yes. I would finish my coffee, and then I would find something else to do. She saw it. She saw what I was doing long before I did. She always saw everything. I miss her every single day. But I think if she were here, she would sit me down and say, "George, you're doing it again." Daniel called last Sunday. His youngest, my granddaughter Emma, she just turned 8, she wanted to tell me about a book she was reading. She talked for 10 minutes straight about a girl who finds a door in her house that leads somewhere else. She was so excited. Her voice went up and down like music. And then Daniel took the phone back, and I heard it in the background, the way his voice changed when he spoke to her after he took the phone. Short, flat. "Emma, let Grandpa go now." She's 8 years old, and already she is learning. Already she is being taught, quietly, without a single lesson, that feelings make people uncomfortable, that excitement should be smaller, that you should read the room before you speak. I did that to Daniel. My father did that to me. And now Daniel is doing it to Emma. 3 generations. The same silence, passed down like furniture, like something valuable, like something worth keeping. I taught literature for 38 years. I know what a tragic flaw is. I stood in front of classrooms and explained it 100 times. The hero always knows. That's the part they don't tell you. The hero always knows exactly what is wrong with him. He just believes he can't change it, or he waits too long to try. I am 79 years old. My hands shake now when it's cold. I forget words sometimes. Not the way I used to forget things. This is different. Slower. Like the words are still there, but the path to them is getting longer. I know what that means. Last week I picked up the phone to call Daniel. I wanted to say something. I didn't know exactly what. Just something real. Something that wasn't about the weather or the news or how the knee is doing. I sat there for 11 minutes with the phone in my hand. Then I put it down, and I sat there in the silence, my father's silence, wearing it like a coat he left me. My father had my eyes. I have my father's silence, and Daniel has my father's eyes. Sometimes Daniel looks at me a certain way, just a glance, just a half second, and I see Thomas, nearly 40 years gone, and still somehow in this room, still somehow in my son's face. I don't know if that is a gift or a haunting. Most days, I think it's both. There is something I have never said to my son, something I practice sometimes, in the morning, before I'm fully awake, before the habit of silence kicks in. I say it to the ceiling, to the empty room, to Margaret, maybe. I am proud of you. I love you. I am sorry I made you feel like you had to earn those things. You never had to earn them. You had them before you were born. I just never learned how to give them to you properly. My father never learned either, and his father before him, I suppose. A long line of men standing at the edge of something they couldn't cross. I have put that phone down 100 times. Maybe today I won't. I am going to call Daniel today. When I finish sitting here, I am going to call him, and I am going to say, "Daniel, I just wanted to hear your voice." Maybe that's enough for today. Maybe that's where you start, with one true thing. I'm 79 years old, and I'm still learning how to be someone's son. and someone's father at the same time.